Now, before I start today's video, I just want to quickly go over what the internal specs of the PineBook Pro is. You get a Rockchip RK3399 SoC, which that's an ARM chip as opposed to an x86 chip, which is what you would find in most laptops, which that unfortunately will limit you a little bit in terms of what operating systems and software you can run, but overall it's not too bad. And that also comes with a Mali T860 MP4 GPU, which should be enough for a little bit of basic gaming, as well as some emulators and stuff. You also get 4GB of RAM, a 1080p screen, 64GB of eMMC storage, and more. So all in all, it's a great value for money laptop. If you enjoyed this video, consider joining Odyssey, the freedom-respecting alternative to YouTube. Links in the description.
Righto then. Well, today we've got a video that I've been quite excited to make for quite a while. Now, before I start it, I just want to apologise. I'm not filming in my usual spot. This package would not fit in my usual spot, sadly. So instead, we're filming somewhere else. So that will probably mean a downgrade in audio quality, but I'm going to try my best and make it as good as it possibly can be. I really do want to get all of this in frame, so that's why we're filming somewhere else. So today we're going to be unboxing the PineBook Pro. Now, I bought this used off the forums, or well, I say used, but what I mean is this thing was barely used. So indeed today we're going to be going ahead and unboxing it. Now, of course, be aware this is used, so the unboxing experience may not be the same as the new PineBooks, but I think it's going to be fairly close. I think the one thing that's going to be missing is the welcome message, if PineBook Pros have those. Other Pine64 products seem to. So without further ado, let's go ahead and bust this open. Now, the first thing you might notice is in the corner of the box here, there is a sticker, made in China, 128GB. Now, most PineBook Pros only have 64GB, but this is one of the early edition ones, so therefore it comes with 128GB, because I believe the person I bought it off was a member of the forum, and they were giving forum members a free storage upgrade. So that's really, really nice that I now have double the storage of what you would normally get on a PineBook Pro. So with that said, let's bust this open, and you've got a box inside of a box. So I'm not actually standing super close to this, so this is going to be quite an interesting unboxing video. So let's just move that box aside, and you've got a smaller box. Now, in shipping, this keeps it safe. The person I was buying off was nice enough to wrap it in bubble wrap too, so it's totally safe. And if we open up this box, there it is, the PineBook Pro itself. Well, let's move that to the side for a minute. And you've got padding underneath that to keep the PineBook Pro safe. And under that still we have this. Now, I believe most PineBook Pros don't come with this. What this is, I believe, is an adapter to put a standard M2 SSD into the PineBook Pro. Given the fact I have the 128GB storage model, I don't think I'll need that, but it's still very nice that the seller decided to include this. And if we move all this to the side, there's nothing underneath here, I have checked, as you can see. So let's move the boxes to the side and bring in the PineBook Pro itself. But before we do that, let's bring this into shot. This is the charger. It didn't actually come in the PineBook Pro box. This was shipped to me separately, and I believe if you buy one new, it's a similar thing. As you can see, I've got an adapter on this. The plug is not a UK plug. I don't believe you can actually order a UK plug, or you can, but not with the PineBook Pro itself. You need to order that separately, but no big deal. The PineBook Pro can also take charge from USB-C, so you probably don't even need that. And with that said, let's take a look at the PineBook Pro itself. And I've got to say, it's actually a lot smaller than I was expecting it to be. It's a little bit bigger than my ThinkPad X220, which makes sense because I think this is a 15-inch, 14-inch laptop. And I've got to say, the build quality on it is phenomenal. Like, genuinely, this thing feels like a MacBook. It's made out of aluminium, so it's got like this really great texture to it. Both the top and the bottom are aluminium. You can see that you've got these feet here. And I'm going to probably call out the elephant in the room and say, this does kind of look like a MacBook. It looks like a black MacBook, and there's no branding on it, so that's much appreciated too. I really kind of don't like products with obnoxious branding on them, so that's one of the reasons why I like Pine64 products so much. If we go around to the sides, you can see all the ports we get. As you can see, it gets slimmer to the top, which is a really nice design choice and kind of makes it look like a MacBook. You've got a microSD card slot, which you can boot the operating system on. Oddly enough, the seller actually seems to have included a 32GB microSD card. Now, I don't know whether they intended to send me this, and I don't know if the operating system is on it, but yeah, if you didn't intend to send me this, I'm sorry, I now have your microSD card. Moving along, you've got the headphone jack. Thanks for including that. You've got a full-sized USB port, and on the other side, you have the charging port up here, you've got a USB 3.0 port, and you have a USB Type-C port, which that's very useful to have on modern laptops, and it can actually take charge from the USB-C port. And if we open it up, you can see that it's a pretty nice looking laptop. The inside is plastic, not like the outside, which is aluminium, but that's fine. You've got a quite nice keyboard. Now, I've actually had a little bit of mess around with that, and I think the key sizes or spacing is a bit weird, because I was trying to type and I was kind of finding it a little bit difficult, but I'm sure you could get used to it easily. And this isn't like a ThinkPad style keyboard, but I've got to say, it's not far off. The key travel is actually really nice, vastly better than modern laptops. The touchpad seems like it would be okay too, and up top, you've got a webcam, and you've got the nice 1080p screen. Yes, this is a $200, or I think $220 now, laptop with a 1080p screen. So with that said, let's go and see if it's got some charge in it. I don't even know if it has an operating system on it, but let's try to turn it on. And it would seem to have some charge. I don't know what operating system is going to be on it, but I guess we're going to find out. It's booting up, and I've got to say, first impressions are that screen is really nice. I can't see it properly where I'm standing, and there we go, we are in. The touchpad seems to work pretty well. As you can see, it booted up actually quite fast. So I don't know what the default username and password is, so I can't really show you around the operating system just yet. So let's just go ahead and try and guess. I think it's Rock and Rock, possibly. And let's try that. And it would seem to be that, hey, we guessed it right. And the operating system that this particular PineBook Pro is running is the default Debian image. If you order a PineBook Pro now, you get Manjaro, but to be honest, I would probably rather have Debian anyway, but this might be a little bit out of date at this point. But obviously, one of the advantages of the PineBook Pro is you can put literally whatever operating system you want on it. So with that said, that is my unboxing of the PineBook Pro. Definitely expect more PineBook Pro videos in the future. I know this channel is kind of becoming the Pine64 fan channel, and to be honest, I'm totally down for that. Pine64 makes some great products. So I definitely can't wait to have a mess around with that.
Actually, before I go, I just want to say, one of the things that the PineBook Pro is sold as is a sort of Chromebook alternative. So as such, a lot of people are probably wondering, can you browse the web on it? And can you do some of the more demanding things on the web? Well, the answer to both of those questions is yes. I've just gone ahead and messed around a little bit with Chromium, which is the default browser on the Debian PineBook Pro image, and it works fine. And I've gone ahead and loaded up some 1080p video on YouTube, and as you can see, it is playing absolutely fine. And if we go into full screen, you can see that once we've gone into full screen, it will continue to play fine. It takes a second to go into full screen, but that's fine. And there you go, as you can see, 1080p YouTube playing just fine on the PineBook Pro. And it looks great too, because the screen's in it's quite good.
But with that said, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed watching it, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.